to start here. All right. Welcome, guys, to the NSL podcast. This is the rules video with me and Rabbit here. This is going to be a must-watch. We're going to have to let us know that you've seen this. Go ahead and say what's up, Rabbit.
What's up? What's up?
For any of you guys that don't know, I'm July 4th. I own the NSL brand. I'm the commissioner of NSL, and all the NSL guys know that. Rabbit's the commissioner of ASL. He's my second man, the guy in charge. All ASL is in charge of him, though. I let him do his thing over there. He runs it like a champ. But this is, like I said, this is a must-watch. We're going to go over some of the changes to our league this year. Not a lot this year, but there's going to be some major ones that some of y'all might have an issue with, or some, there might be some issues with. So before we get started, I just want to say welcome for some of y'all that aren't here. Welcome to NSL. I'm glad. I know it's been a long wait this year. Madden dropped really early. We started the week 1 roster update. It takes forever. Sorry, guys. But this league runs. It's not like those other leagues that start in 2 days after Madden drops and end a week after. We're going to be here for the next 5 seasons. And first things first, let me ask you that we're going to be asking for 5 seasons. So if you're not willing to commit to 5 seasons, please drop out now. But I think everybody in here is willing to. So before we get started on these rule changes, Rabbit, what do you got to say? Maybe to your ASL guys or NSL?
Yep, just what's up? Welcome to another year. ASL, we had a fair amount of turnover, so we got some new guys that haven't been in here before. And like you said, we were asking for 5 seasons. We let some people go last year that kind of tailed off there in season 5. So, just let us know. It's no hard feelings, but I think everybody can do that. And we're just ready to play some sim ball for this year. So,
all right. Well, let's start off with we did a lot of testing. I know some of y'all know we're in the test league. I base all my stuff off of stats. So as much as I did the testing and as much as feedback, I was like, well, it feels better this way, or it feels better this way. The thing is, I had to go based off of stats because it honestly was so close. So we settled on all Madden. That's what our leagues, both leagues mirror each other, so they'll both be on the same stuff. So we're going to start off on all Madden, probably 55 run block sliders and 55 pass block sliders, and go from there, see what we can get off of that. Injury sliders are at 40. I've noticed playing games that those are really hit this year. We'll see how that affects the season going forward. I love injuries, but they've been even a bitch much in the games I played. So I don't know. We'll see how it starts off. Hopefully Dalvin can make it through one football season this year, just one 16-game season. But so that's about where we're going to start. We're going to be pretty close to default. After the title update, the running in all Madden has improved dramatically. So that was the real issue he had with all Madden, was it was almost unbearable to run. Hopefully the interceptions, might turn interceptions down 5 too, because the interceptions are still a bit high. Not as bad as last year. Oh my God, not as bad as last year. I see the most interceptions I've seen this year are 3 or 4. I've had a couple offline, just not offline games. I've had a couple practice games where we've thrown 7 and stuff, but at a certain point you're just playing around and trying to come back, and probably not indicative to a 7 interception game in our league. Hopefully. It
gets to the point that they're on you, and you can't really blame it on the game.
Yeah. Well, they're not all on me. I posted that in NSL yesterday. That was ridiculous interception. But beside the point, that's just Madden being Madden. So that's our stats. It's going to be 9-minute quarters, 20-second runoff, same as last year. Really, the only changes, we're going back to all Madden. We were on All Pro last year, but with the all Madden tournaments going, with the Madden tournaments going to all Madden, feels like it plays much better on all Madden than it did last year, which was just a terrible game on all Madden, in my opinion. So we're going back. Know that makes some of y'all happy, some of y'all not. All right, so we'll go ahead and go down this list now with one of the changes, the pass situation linebackers. What do they call them? Sub linebackers in there. I'm not really fully sure. The situational linebacker allows you to put safeties in on the linebacker. I don't think it allows you to in the depth chart, but in game on depth chart it does. Let me just go ahead and say this now. there's no safeties at linebacker, guys. No matter how it allows you to do it, we don't need nickel formations with safeties in there. They got the big nickel for that. That's specifically designed for that. I don't want to see, I can't allow that because I promise you, as soon as I do that, I'm going to see teams with 4 safeties out on the field and no linebackers. Just not what I'm about. So, as always, safeties are not play linebackers in our league. Pretty fair, Rabbit?
It's fair. You're not going to see that on Sunday. Like you said, that there might be some big nickels. And, I think like the 4-6 package, may have them brought up in there. That's what those are for. Not speed packages and things like that running out of a base nickel or something like
that. Yeah, completely agree. All right, next we're going to go up to aggression. When I first tested it when Madden dropped, aggression seemed much better. Since the title update, they did some changes to aggression and made it heavier. And in my opinion, it's back to where it was before. So as in last year, we will be fixing aggression. It's going to take us our time to do. So,
well, maybe they've got some feedback that it is too much, and they'll bump it in this next patch. Hopefully, we'll see. But if they don't, we'll be there to fix people along the same lines that we had last year, same ages, 29 plus. Whenever you start to see those deep aggressions come,
so. It'll be no running backs at all till 32 with most players, offensive linemen till 34, quarterbacks until 34 plus after 34 if they have a certain quarterback rating. That's all I think I have. We have a sheet somewhere on one of our Daddy Leagues pages if you check it out. But maybe you're right. Maybe they'll fix it in patch. Who knows? I doubt it. I know I tested it out. Richard Sherman dropped like 7 zone coverage points in 1 year, age 30, and I'm like, how can we even justify that? He's unusable at that point. All right.
I appreciate that in the ASL for sure.
Well, he was one of the main people, but I also saw some 30-year-old offensive linemen lose 4 pass blocking and 3 run blocking in one season. And these are like top guys; they're not lowly guys. So it's like, what's going on here? All right, next going on to custom drafts here. We're going to do custom drafts. We're going to have real life NCAA players for at least the next 2 seasons. I don't know which exact roster we use yet, but when I do know, when we're fully sure, and we'll have to be fully sure pretty soon here because our first season is going to come up, I'm going to give that information to everybody. And I'll also put out a video to show you exactly how to load it up. Everybody's going to have the overalls for all the players. Everybody's going to have every stat for every player in that draft. That's the way it's got to be to use customs. We want to use customs, and we really, I think Rabbit will vouch for me, really don't want to fill out those damn sheets again this year. That was worse than regression by far. Regression fixes sucked, but it only took like 2 hours. Those sheets took forever, and
people put them together, but yeah, I mean, basically last year you had everything but the overalls. If you were smart about it, you knew what their speed was going to be roughly and what their strength was, and gave you their top 3. So I mean, it's a little bit more information, but everybody's going to have it, and it's not like we're trying to hoodoo anybody. It's going to be fair across the board. So it's not.
You're not going to be able to.
Yeah, I was going to say it's not a whole lot more than the sheets that we filled out. I saw Nate Dogg was already working on one for this year, and I was like, I'm glad that we don't have to worry about that. So,
well, but also the good news, you're going to see some real life players in there. So that's going to be cool. It's going to be really exciting. Not using another benefit of that is we're not going to see 92 speed, 81 acceleration wide receivers. I'll make sure that when looking through them, no stupid running backs that are just unusable in the draft at 80 speed and acceleration. So none of that is going to happen anymore. That's one of also the positives. The positives outweighed the one negative of everybody being able to know the draft chart. So just make sure when you guys go in, you go in, you look at it, you set your draft. Maybe you're probably going to have to do some work this year. You can't just go in blind. You're going to have to go, I wouldn't say scout because there's no reason to scout, but go in, Take a list of the top quarterbacks you want, the top wide receivers you want, top running backs you want. Write them down because you'll see what happens this year. We'll go deeper and deeper. You're still gonna have to go through the work and check out all those players. So the people who do the work are still going to be benefited, but we're all going to have the same information. So, all right. Next, this is just a reminder. If you're going mostly for ASL, I think most NSL guys know this. If you're going from 3-4 to 4-3 or 4-3 to 3-4, you're going to have to submit a paper letting us know, or submit just your position changes, who's going where. This is kind of we'll put these two together. Any position changes at all need to be submitted to us first off. But if you're going from 4-3 to 3-4 or 3-4 to 4-3 specifically, you're going to have to do position changes, and you're going to have to submit those to us. So they'll be pretty legit and legal moves. Like, so we're not going to allow 230-pound linebackers to play 3-4 ends like some people, or 250-pound ends to move into the 3-4 ends. It just doesn't make sense. Very rarely does it happen. They're not sized to play that position. So if you want to move to a 3-4, you're going to have to put people in positions they would play in real life. You're not going to be able just to move them around and pretty much put 6 or 7 defensive ends / linebackers on your line playing at one time instead of no tackles and no real ends. So,
yeah, and speaking of that, it's just got to make sense. Like you say, it can't be small guys, and I think we're probably going to limit it around what we did last year. 280-ish is going to be that limit for somebody to be there. And the same thing for DTs. You can't, if you're going to run a 3-4, you can't have a 280-pound end you want to move in there either. So, but speaking of that, another rule change that we're putting in place is you got to have 3 defensive linemen on the field. There are some some playbooks that have 2, 4, 5, and it just seemed to be abused last year. People be running that all the time, and you basically, you got those 4 linebackers, but one of them's on the line, and it just didn't have good results last year. So you got to have 3 defensive linemen. So if you're running that 2-4-5, you got to go in and manually put in a person in game, so that you got 3 linemen on the field there.
Okay. That being said, in those nickel packages, obviously the 3-4 nickel packages, obviously some of those guys are considered kind of edge rushers. So the Whitney Merciless and the Jadavian Clowney would count as defensive linemen in that situation, right, Rabbit? Hello, you there?
Yep, for sure.
Yeah. All right, so that's the one situation where there are pass rushers. So kind of. All right. Next going up, no trade list. It's done. I think Rabbit, you checked it out. I went back and went through it again and made sure everything looks pretty good to me. It's done. It's the trade list. It's a lot smaller this year than it has been the last 2 seasons. Rabbit specifically wanted to make a rule where after 3 seasons, no one's on it anymore. So thank Rabbit for that one. After we're done with 3 seasons, trade list is null and void, and have fun. At that point, though, most of the people that are going to be here are going to be here. So,
because that was the original intent, was for people not to come in and trade their big names and then bounce, and then you're trying to fill that, and they don't have the big names that are on there. But any active players will be available for 3 years, and of course your future draft picks, your first and second rounders, are still going to take 3 years and 2 years before you can. But we did for third rounders from previous years, and won't be counting those on the no trade list this year either.
Yeah, we took out all third rounders, so pretty much just shrunk the no trade list. So I feel like we'll probably be a little bit more strict on trades this year, though, because some trades we let through last year seemed a little lopsided in the long run. Maybe a little bit of Jimmy Garoppolo action going on. Won him a Super Bowl. All right. Next, we're going to go up with abusing man blitzes. I don't know. If any of y'all have played games this year, you'll realize that man blitzes in particular are highly effective. Specifically because the the counter to it, the halfback screen, gets blown up by man blitzes. It absolutely gets destroyed by man blitzes. It'll either come in an interception or a sack every single time. So there's not really a huge risk to running the man blitzes as of right now, especially with the pass rush being a little bit lax. There's no real good lines in Madden, so the pass rush will get right through. So there's not a real and I've seen a lot of people running at maybe 50% of their plays. That's way too much for man blitz. There's no team in the NFL running man blitzes 50% of the plays. Keep your plays mixed up. I mean, just we shouldn't see that. I'm not going to put a number on the percentage of man plays you should be able to run, but we should all be mixing up our plays, and we should all be having different playbooks. Just realize that I know man blitzes work. I know they stop the run, and they really stop most of the passes this year because you'll get right through because lines are terrible. But mix up your plays. This isn't a league where we're doing what works best. You know, there's other leagues for that if that's what you want to do. Rabbit, I don't think you've played too many test games or you've seen that yet, have you?
No, not anybody that was abusing it. But for sure, you know, when you did see it, if you didn't get it out quick, then you're in trouble. So
Yeah.
And I totally agree with that, and especially the 50% piece is way out of line with what we've got out there for analytics. We do actually have a highest blitz, and it's only at 45.5, and I'm sure those scores on PFF, you know, that's taken into account zone and man blitz. So yeah, there's no sense in need in running 50% man blitzes. You know, just in general, you know, to survive and succeed in this league, you got to mix up plays, offense and defensive side of the ball.
Yeah, they are really hard to counter. Like, I'll know they're coming. I'll pinch the offensive line. I'll keep one or two in the block. Because you got to hope, really, you just got to hope your guy can get open fast enough off the cornerbacks, and it's really hard to do this year. But that's one thing. You can get it off if you know it's coming and you run a slant or something silly. But then even then, you got the users that'll cover the middle of the field. It becomes really difficult to do anything on. I have a feeling in some of the Madden tournaments, that's going to be one of a major player is some of those man blitzes with you taking a user in the middle because it shuts down a lot of your plays. But neither here nor there. That's just a friendly reminder. Next, we're going to go up to Discord. We're going to go ahead and try and move over to Discord starting tomorrow. Me and Rabbit have decided we talked about this. We saw the pros and cons. We think the pros of what we can do outweigh the cons at this point. I know it's a little late in the season to be switching, but we're going to try it right now. Anyways, we're going to hopefully we'll be moved over before the Madden. We're going to start moving over tomorrow. It'll be your way of letting us know you saw this video. It'll be your way of letting us know that you're ready to play next season. You'll have a week. I expect every one of y'all to PM me so you'll show that you know how to PM on Discord. Make sure when you go over there, you do not have to silence anything. I already have it set up. The only notifications you're going to get in our leagues are from @ mentions. So if somebody @ you or if I @ everyone, then you'll get it. If you mute it, you're not going to get any notifications. So I'm telling you right now, all you have to do is join and change your nickname. And then figure out how to private message everybody. Everything else is going to be done for you. Some of the benefits we're going to see in Discord, and I know some of y'all are kind of iffy about it. It's a little bit more complicated. But some of the benefits we're doing this is that not only is it going to be easier to @ everyone together and keep, in my opinion, everything a little bit more sorted out, you're also going to be able to see who's the owner of the league, who are the admins of the league. For ASL especially, this is going to be huge. So if you have a problem, you're going to see, hey, these guys are admins. You can go, if one of them's online, you can go straight to them. You can see who's online. So you're going to be able to see, hey, this admin's online right now. Let me PM him. The trade committee in NSL, ASL is just the admins that do it. But in NSL, we have a trade committee. That trade committee is going to have a whole, you'll be able to see every single person in the trade committee. So if you are having trouble getting your trade through, you can @trade committee. Bam, done. Everyone in the trade committee is going to see that in the chat. It's probably going to get annoying, but I bet your trades will get approved or declined a lot faster. So,
or just ignore one of the two.
Yeah, they might just ignore you too. That's a possibility with our trade committee, because they ignore me sometimes. Like, hey, you all gonna vote the last vote, or are we just gonna? But that's neither here nor there. Our trade committee has gotten better, man. We had some people in there that took a long time to vote, but I think we're better now. Speaking of that, since Waka left, I actually need to add another member to the trade committee in NSL. So somebody's going to be getting a invite to the trade committee here fairly shortly. So there's that. So Discord's the thing that's happening. Hopefully it's not a mistake. I know a lot of y'all are like, well, we went to Discord and we had to go back. And I'm like, okay, well, let's hope that's not us, because the benefits of Discord in the long run outweigh the benefits of GroupMe. GroupMe is a very simple app. It does what it has to do. We're not trying to be a simple league. We're trying to do exciting things, you know? And with the ability to see who's online, the ability to see who's in what chat, the ability to add everyone at the same time, the ability to, there's also a voice, general voice chat in there. We can go during football Sundays. Everybody can go in there and talk football, just talking football, you know? It's just so much cooler, you know? A much better, there's a lot, it's just a much, everything is better, except the only downside I've seen to Discord is it takes 2 extra button presses to get to a PM. That is it, 100%. So with this PM that I'm going to, with this video that I'm going to PM everybody, tell them to watch, I'm also going to send you the group, the invite to the chat. So you'll all have an invite to the chat. Join up, preferably in the next 2 days. It'll let you know that you're in the league, you're ready to go. And Wednesday, sometime between Wednesday and Thursday or Friday, I'm not sure, whenever the weekend roster updates will drop, cuts are Saturday. I can anticipate it'll be, I'm assuming Wednesday, because the first game is on Thursday night, I believe. So I'm predicting we'll be ready to go. So we need you joined up by this weekend and learning how to PM. That's going to be the hugest thing. That's going to be the only real thing you need to learn how to do is PM somebody. Everything else is already taken care of. Go ahead.
It's going to take you 5 minutes tops to download it, walk through a little bit, figure out how to do something, and you're going to be set. You know, it's not like we're going to go and burn our GroupMe app, so we'll still have that to fall back on. Like you say, if we were to have to go back, I don't see any reason why we would have to go back.
Yeah, we're not going to delete the GroupMe apps and dilute. We're right now. This is going to be trying for the first couple of weeks of the season. I don't anticipate having to go back.
No. But like you say, it's the pros definitely outweighed the cons there. I mean, I know people, you know, don't like change and having to learn something new, but
yeah, no, that's the main thing. People hate change. We were always going to Discord. It's something I've wanted to do for like 2 years now. I just realized that there's a lot of, not to be, you know, that guy, but there's a lot of old heads in our league that Rabbit said do not like change. So change is change. It's coming. We don't sit on our laurels as NSL. I know last year I was kind of busier than usual. I had a lot of, you know, between switching jobs twice and breaking up my ex-fiance. And I was a busy man, but you know, this league still ran through. This year, hopefully the league pushes through again, but we obviously want to do more. Coach wants to get a game stream going together. So like we've been trying to do for 2 or 3 years now. So that's something we really want to do. I don't know if y'all have heard me ever commentate games, but when I'm drinking and commentating games, it could be quite interesting. So hopefully we'll have some of that this year. Do some commentating live. We got some ways to do it, you know, and Coach specifically wants to do it. I think with Coach's X's and O's football knowledge and my color commentary, that could be a pretty interesting game to watch. So we'll see. So that's the kind of stuff we're trying to do. Last thing before we go, this is the always the messed up part, but you know, the league costs money. I'm obviously going to ask for donations. During the message, I'll send you my email. You can just PayPal any donations. Anything's helpful. We've got to pay two $22 fees to both the group, not GroupMe, both the Daddy Leagues pages, so it'll be $44 total. We have had quite a huge donations already from one person individual in NSL. I don't want to keep calling him out and making him, but he did buy, I think, a total of 7 games for the league this year. So not trying to say y'all don't do your part, but he set the gold standard. We just any help y'all have would be great. $5, $10. Anything after 44, we'll put towards the league, obviously, like we always do, and do whatever we can. I think last year we had a couple extra dollars. I don't remember. But if we have enough, we'll buy somebody a game after the first year, whatever it is. But first things first, we need to get those daddy leagues paid for. And obviously, they're going to be paid for whether you donate or not. So I'm not going to sit here and be like, donate or else. If y'all don't donate, I'll pay for them. But we do put a lot of time and work in. And when y'all pay and donate, so I don't have to take money out of my pocket, it shows that mine and Rabbit's time means enough to you where you don't want to also have us paying out of our pocket to do this sort of stuff. So
even if it's $1 or $2 a person, that would cover what it is. So it's not even that much. If right.
Yeah, there's 58 league members. $1 a piece would cover it. So it is what it is. That's really all I got. I know it's kind of a longer video for it, but we had a few stuff to go over this year. I'll make sure I'm going to send this message to everybody tonight with make sure letting them know to watch it. So you're going to have to let me know you've seen it, or I guess you could just switch to Discord. A Discord invite and my email for donations. So anything other than that, let's have a good year. It's going to be started up next week. Should be pretty fun. I mean, it's going to be an interesting matter and plays different. So other than that, I don't really have a lot. Rabbit, you got anything to say before we dip out of here, man?
No, that's all, man. Just appreciate all you guys. We still got to fill Cardinals and Seahawks in the ASL, but I've been kind of slack the past couple of weeks because we had almost the league full and a couple guys dropped out just because they couldn't stand the wait, I don't guess. If you know anybody that's sim worthy, bring them on over. But we'll be advertising this week and the next week leading up to it, and we'll get it filled, no problems. But we got some peeps, send them our way.
And even when we do get filled, we have waiting lists. Last year we had a waiting list to get into ASL, which in all fairness is kind of a waiting list to get into NSL. So, which is how it started out. So just bring people you want in. This is a family environment. It's a fun environment. NSL specifically, you can ask anybody that's an NSL, man. It's a nice, chill, fun environment for everybody involved. We want your friends in. We don't want strangers. We want friends. It's a family. So bring who you want in. As long as they're sim, we'll keep them around. We'll have fun. We'll work, and we even work with people. That's what ASL is for. So it's not like we're strict as hell in ASL. We give people a couple chances in ASL as long as they're not cheating. So. Last reminder before we go: no custom playbooks, created coaches. Two of the main things. So only one audible per offensive play. Hot route, not hot route. Not audible. Hot route. Only one hot route per play, unless you're putting people into blocking. So a blocking will not count. So only one hot route. So just quick reminders. Those were implemented last year. Everybody should know about those, but just a quick reminder on them. So.
Yeah, and the last thing, as far as always clarifying this, is the QB scramble/run. Everybody always has a hard time with this one. It's got to be either through the tackles, lane opens up and you take off there when you're passing, flushed out of the pocket, or designed rollout or QB run. A lot of times we get happy feet and we dance around and we roll way out when there's nobody even around you, and that doesn't even matter if you take off running or not. We want you. The rule is you got to stay in the pocket unless you're flushed out or.
And we understand quarterbacks roll out in real life. Problem is, real life there's a pocket. Madden there's not. If we allow rolling out, it'll just break the whole game and give you an extra time to pass. And they do that in tournaments. We don't do that in Madden. We try and it does not stop you from running the ball. You can. As Diego, our Ravens player, who has been going absolutely ham with Lamar Jackson in every game I played with him. Heads up, if you play Diego, you might want to spy somebody 100% of the time because he will roll out within our rules 10 times a game. He will run Lamar Jackson to death. So have fun defending that. I've played them a few times. I think I got them down, but you're going to have fun the first time. So, all right, guys, that's it. Sorry it's so long. Hope to see y'all this year, and good luck.
Take care.